Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Congregation Beth Israel in Houston. Live streaming is here for you. I'm delighted that we can share the Shabbat together, sharing beautiful prayers, inspiring music, and an important message. As the week continues and Shabbat begins, please accept my very best wishes for good health, much life, and greater peace. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos to each of you. Every week I greet you in the same way, to welcome us into the Sabbath spirit, our sacred worship space that provides us a familiar feeling. Tonight is a little less familiar. This week we were undone by events in Pittsburgh that reverberated across the country and deep within our hearts and our souls. And so we've come here tonight, not out of fear or out of concern, but because we seek peace and we have known it and we will know it again. Sabbath comes whether we are ready or not. And I can say for myself, and I think I reflect your feelings too, I am ready for Shabbat. There are many ways that we greet each other on Shabbat, and as I have visited other houses of worship in the community, I have heard similar reflections of our own expression. We say to each other, Shalom Aleichem, and the greeting we say in response is, Aleichem Shalom. And when I've been with my Muslim friends in the community, we say, Salam Alaikum. Sounds so familiar. And when I'm in the church, we say to each other, peace be unto you. You see, we all wish each other the same thing. We just find the language that is a part of our roots, our heritage, our tradition. So tonight, as you find a person sitting near you, in your own way, in your own language, let's wish each other, Shalom Aleichem, Salam Alaikum, peace be unto you.
That's nice.
This Shabbat, as we look around, we might see the familiar people that we've come to expect to find when we sit in our favorite seat, when we come into the sanctuary. But there are also people who are here who have never been here before, but who are parts of their own houses of worship and faith traditions. Leaders in our community, too, who stand with us, who have stood with us in the past, and who in their own houses of worship seek for themselves what we seek for ourselves: the security through diversity, understanding through education, and peace through friendship. And so it's really a pleasure for me to be sure that you know that these friends and dignitaries, leaders, are among us tonight. Mayor Sylvester Turner, Mayor Pro Tem Ellen Cohen, Chief of Police Art Acevedo, and all the HBD officers who protect us each day, and our Schlenker students, and who protect all of us around the city. Constable Alan Rosen, Congressman Al Green, Lizzie Fletcher, David Mintzberg, Chair of Houston First, Mohammed Zakir on behalf of the Dawoodi Bohra Muslim community, Sharik Abdul Ghani, and Brahmacharya Shweti Chaitanya with the Hindu community of Houston. And I know that I have left off a name or two, but as I see you in our congregation tonight, and as you are greeted by others, please know how welcome you are and how grateful we are for your presence tonight as we stand not just in Houston, but with every Jewish community and faith tradition around the country. Now let's take hold of our prayer book. And in our book we find English, Hebrew, and transliteration, as well as commentaries on the bottom of the pages which help us find meaning in those prayers that are familiar or perhaps very new to us. At the bottom of page 6, we find a reading that helps all of us understand why it is even more important for us to be here tonight, in addition to our weekly Sabbath observance. Let's read responsively. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship.
May it be welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture.
May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity.
May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet.
May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness.
May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life.
And as we have come from so many different places and experiences this week, what unites us is not only a shared hope and prayer, but also song. And so we invite Cantor Trumpeter to lead us in singing the words, Shalom Aleichem, peace be unto you. The words can be found on your song sheet or on page 24 in our prayer book. Let's sing together.
Shalom,
This evening, while the lights of remembrance burn for the 11 whose lives were taken, we also turn our attention to the Sabbath lights, the lights that kindle the hope as the Sabbath day begins for us. It's a pleasure to invite Katie Spindler and Margot Stander to lead us in the blessing over the Sabbath lights, page 2 and 3.
Candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
The spirit of Shabbat surrounds us. It enters us. And now we are prepared to pray to God the prayers of the Sabbath, our prayers of gratitude. Turning to page 146, we rise for our call to worship, Baruch Hu. Responsively. Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom.
Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures.
Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Aravim. In each age we receive and transmit Torah. At each moment we are addressed by the world. In each age we are challenged by our ancient teaching.
At each moment we stand face to face with truth.
In each age we add our wisdom to that which has gone before. At each moment the knowing heart is filled with wonder.
In each age, the children of Torah become its builders and seek to set the world firm on a foundation of truth.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Page 150, together. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Each time we gather as a community to pray, we offer the song of praise to God, Mi Chamocha. It's a song where we recall and recount the gift of freedom. It's a question that asks God, who is like you among all the other gods that are worshipped? Our ancestors responded, Ein Kamocha, God, none is like you. At times like this, when we come together on Shabbat, we are especially grateful for all that our ancestors endured to enable each one of us to appreciate freedom. And especially on this Shabbat, we pray that God will continue to grant us this important gift. Mi Chamocha, page 152. As the evening descends, we pray that God will watch over and protect our souls as we sleep, especially granting us with the Sukkot Shalom a covering of peace that extends not only to us, but to all of God's creations in each place and everywhere they find themselves. We join together now at the bottom of page 153. Give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety. In your presence we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, hapurei sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Page 154, together. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat. Observing Shabbat throughout the ages is a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from work and was refreshed. We arrive now at the central part of our worship service, known by so many names, often called Ha Tefillah, the prayer, often known as Avot v'Imahot, the prayers of our fathers and our mothers. It's a time when we have the opportunity to recall the names of each one of our patriarchs and matriarchs, reminding ourselves that just as they created a personal connection and relationship with God, They have handed that legacy to us. It is now our opportunity to work hard at creating and establishing our personal relationship with God. We turn now to pages 155 and 157 as we rise for Ha Tefillah.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, U'mevii geula livnei bneihem, Leman shemo b'ahava. Melech ozer Moshia u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, v'ezrat Sarah.
Page 157, responsively. We pray that we might know before whom we stand, the power whose gift is life, who quickens those who have forgotten how to live, having implanted within us an eternal spirit.
Pray for winds to disperse the air of sadness, for rains to make parched hopes rise again.
We pray for love to encompass us, for no reason save that we are human, that we may blossom into persons who have gained power over our own lives.
Pray to stand upright, we fallen, to be healed, we sufferers. We pray to break the bonds that keep us from the world of beauty. We pray to be open to our own true selves. We pray that we may walk in a garden of purpose, in touch with the power of the world.
Praise be the God whose gift is life, whose cleansing rains let parched men and women rise again. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol, atah kadosh b'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yichalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Please be seated.
Page 160. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. May we all live in such a way that this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Be gracious, Adonai, our God, to your people Israel, and receive our prayers with love. Oh, may our worship always be acceptable to you. Fill us with the knowledge that you are near to all who seek you in truth. Page 163, together. For the good in us, which calls us to a better life, we give thanks. For the strength to improve the world with our hearts and our hands, we offer praise. For the desire in us which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful. For life and nature, harmony and beauty, for the hope of tomorrow, all praise to the source of being. For all these things, O Sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai, your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulcha na'eh lehodot. Our tradition teaches that peace is so great because all blessings conclude with peace. The blessings that we've just prayed as a community all lead to our prayer for peace, Shalom Rav. Especially on this evening, we pray Shalom Rav with full throats and heavy hearts, for we know so many need peace. Sometimes our prayers are affirmations, our tradition's language of acknowledging the great divine things we see around us. Other times, and I imagine for many tonight, our prayers are hopes. They are our souls yearning to envision the lives we want and the world we need. We continue now with our prayer of peace, first reading together and then singing on page 164. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of our world. Plant virtue in every soul. May the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people with peace. Thoughts now turn inward to our private, personal prayers. We call to mind those in our community in need of healing of mind, body, and spirit. And we add all those suffering and mourning in Pittsburgh, in the Jewish community, and in all communities suffering from acts of bigotry and hate, as we take a moment for silent prayer.
Last Shabbat, our day of rest and joy, was afflicted in the darkest of ways. We navigate through the week with great anticipation that the holiest day of our week will be one of comfort and peace. Despite the sun shining bright, before 12 noon, our thoughts were consumed with our brothers and sisters, our friends in Pittsburgh. While we physically sit thousands of miles away, spiritually we found ourselves with Eitz Chaim, the Tree of Life Synagogue, mourning such a terrible and grave tragedy. We sat in disbelief and fear. As we still reel from the initial shock and pain, we know that our world has been darkened. Our holy places of worship should be shut out from the horrors of the outside world. Gathering for worship is about fulfilling a mitzvah, a sacred act, one that we desperately crave in our divided world. An attack in any sanctuary is a threat to each one of us. So we quickly prepared to respond and to act. As Torah teaches, in the wake of tragedy, we must choose life. When times are dim, we find the courage to fulfill the prophetic mission of becoming an Or L'Goyim, a light unto the nations. There are many questions that have filled our days. Sadly, we can find few answers. But we have responded to the brokenness. As Shabbat ended on Saturday evening, our group of Houston area rabbis came together quickly. We mobilized ourselves. Despite denominations and philosophies, the call to help was greater than any barriers. We had to stand together as a community. We needed to respond to the moment in a meaningful and heartfelt way. In no time at all, we planned an evening of solidarity for the entire Jewish community, spreading to our interfaith partners and our political officials. With strong and heightened security, more than 1,500 individuals gathered at the Evelyn Rubenstein Jewish Community Center. The mood was both inspiring and devastating, bitter and sweet. As friends, bound together by our voices, we offered inspiring prayers and uplifting melodies. In that moment, there was a sense of wholeness and peace that had been completely absent from Shabbat. As our political leaders shared their words of sympathy and condolence, we stood together, shoulder to shoulder and hand in hand. It was an evening of sadness, but also one of great hope. Our tradition teaches, "B'makom she'ein anashim hishtadel lihiyot ish," in a place where there is no humanity, each one of us must step up and be prepared to the person we need to be. We must be the comfort and solace we deserve. With God's strength and support, we pray that we will see a time of greater wholeness, a time when our spirits are truly lifted. Psalm 34 teaches, Adonai is close to the brokenhearted. Adonai helps those crushed in spirit. May we truly find God's presence at this difficult time and in this shattered world. May we know a time of greater tolerance, greater hope, and ultimately greater peace. As together we all say, Amen.
I'm so grateful for Rabbi Scott's leadership at the Community Vigil, and for so many of the faith leaders who are here tonight. Each of us, no matter the community from which we come or the community in which we pray, has been without times when our spirits have been crushed. But God remains close to each of us and to all of us in all the ways that we worship, in all the ways that we imagine God. A powerful instinct overcomes us so that even when we are down, we are inclined to work for justice and to model love and hope for ourselves and for all who are touched by our lives. As we open the Torah this week, we open to the portion in Genesis called Chaye Sarah. It means the life of Sarah, but it actually begins with the death of Sarah. And Abraham is inclined and compelled to find a proper burial place for Sarah. He goes to Ephron among the Hittites and is willing to pay a full price. And Ephron says, "You don't have to pay a full price, we'll give it to you." And Abraham again returns and says, "Only for the full price," so that never in all the years ahead will anyone ever consider this land not ours, not one that is sacred to the woman I call my wife. Abraham paid that full price. It was an investment that would be long-lasting, not temporary or ever questioned. And so even as members of the Jewish community in Pittsburgh were laid to rest, we also consider the high price that that community has paid and the price that we must continue to pay as we invest ourselves in not a temporary but a long-lasting and enduring solution that would enable our people and all people to know that never again should such a heinous crime be committed in this land or anywhere in the world. It's an investment that each of us is ready to make. The political leaders who are here not to be political. They're here to be leaders in our community who are elected and chosen by us to stand by us as faithful leaders and participants in our houses of worship. And I'm looking forward to Mayor Turner's words later this evening, as should you. What is our investment? It's an investment of body, that we must participate in action, including voting for peacemakers and advocating for justice and mercy and love wherever it is absent. It is not enough to stay at home and watch on the news and debate around the dining room table. It is about coming here on Shabbat. It is about learning about our Jewish history and our Jewish future and our Jewish hopes, the same ones for which many other people in the past struggled and fought so that we might enjoy and know who we are. It is also an investment of the mind, accepting the responsibility for changing the ways we have thought about others. In the Talmud, there's a beautiful blessing that says, when we see someone who is different than we are, praised are you, God, who creates a variety of creations. Who are we to judge another? Created in God's image, we see in everyone's face and heart and expectations all that we find in ourselves when we are at our best. And also an investment of spirit. To have faith is to believe that the higher good is found in what we all claim to be the foundations of our respective faith traditions. If the Torah and the Ark, the Torah that we will hand to our bar mitzvah and bat mitzvah children tonight, is what we claim it to be, a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its ways lead us to peace, then we have to bind ourselves to its truth and live by its teachings. And so should a Christian to the Christian Bible, and a Muslim to the Quran, and every faithful person to his or her sacred text. Tonight, we are here because we felt adrift. We felt that we had no rudder in our boat and no anchor to secure it. But I'm already feeling better just seeing each of you and knowing that we truly don't stand alone. Our faith has long been our rudder and our anchor. The presence of so many of you encourages us to know and strengthens our resolve that we are not rudderless. In fact, we have oars to put in the water to guide us down the ways we must go. And when we arrive at the places we are intended to be, we have anchors to secure us in that place. Houston is our place. Congregation Beth Israel is our place. And in all the ways that we spend time with others, I hope that in this great city, which is more diverse than any other city in the country, we will find in all those places friends to call our neighbors. So let's do our part. Let's be present for each other, not only tonight, but also tomorrow. Let's overcome the hate we've heard and experienced with the deepest kinds of love. And let's be faithful to God's hope for us by loving our neighbor. Healing begins now. And we invite you to join in a beautiful song of healing that helps us to feel hopeful that in our minds and bodies and spirits, it can be done. Let's turn to our song sheet and sing a beautiful song called Heal Us Now.
We pray for healing of the body
Please rise. It's beautiful. Just the sound system. As we invite our bar and bat mitzvah and their families to join us in front of the Holy Ark, we stand at this place to demonstrate, as we do each week, that the holiness of our tradition, the gift of Torah, continues to go the door of our door from generation to generation. How grateful we are this night to pass the Torah and its teachings once more from grandparents to parents to children.
Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. Exalt Adonai our God and bow down towards God's holy mountain, for Adonai our God is holy.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonai Kadosh Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai. In our prayer book now, we turn to the bottom of page 282 and 287 as we continue with the great prayer of adoration, Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tekedula liyotzeh bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, v'lo samanu kemishbechot האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Page 291. It is hard to sing of oneness when the world is not complete, when those who once brought wholeness to our life have gone. And naught but memory can fill the emptiness their passing leaves behind. But memory can tell us only what we were in company with those we loved. It cannot help us find what each of us alone must now become. Yet no one is really alone. Those who live no more echo still within our thoughts and words, and what they did is part of what we have become. We do best homage to our dead when we live our lives more fully, even in the shadow of our loss. For each of our lives is worth the life of the whole world, and each one is the breath of the ultimate one. In affirming the one, we affirm the worth of each one whose life now ended, brought us closer to the source of life, in whose unity no one is alone, and every life finds purpose. We take this time now to call to heart and mind those dear ones who were taken from us and who were laid to rest in recent days. From Congregation Eitz Chaim, Joyce Feinberg, Richard Gottfried, Rose Mallinger, Jerry Rabinowitz, Cecil Rosenthal, David Rosenthal, Bernice Simon, Sylvan Simon, Daniel Stein, Melvin Wax, Irving Younger. And we add the names of those who were part of our own community in Houston who were laid to rest too in recent days. Lovingly we remember Richard Landy, Shirley Fenton, Stuart Rosenthal, Sanford Herman, Matthew Johnson. And we add the names of those the anniversary of whose death is observed this Shabbat. Arthur Schwartz Jr., Stephen Conway, Sally Leon, Judith Wetcher, Serena Berger, Irene Dover, Herbert Harris, George Joseph, Tom Weston Darp, Regina Wolfe, Kea Alber, Max Binder, Sheldon Block, Sadie Goldstein, Samuel Israel, Marcia Malev, Esther Marcus, Gerald Baber, William Kassir, Thomas Friedman, Roselle Frumkin, Louis Goldstein, June Harris, Nettie Leffelholtz, Simon Meyer, David Reitman, Geraldine Rosenstock, Lauren Watson, James Warren Allen, Lois Begelson, Esther Camberg, Clara Fallick, Simon Friedman, Elaine Goller, Murray Gordon, David Harrison, Frank Hover, Charlotte Lempert, Sadie Nagar, Sam Robinson, David Rosenthal, Jane Samuels, Kenneth Schnitzer Sr., Fanny Solovitz, Laura Tepper, E.L. Weiner, Gussie Weissman, Irene Wish, Louis Wish, Ben Wolfman, Abba Belalovsky, David Brand, Isaac Jerry Cohen, Cecile Lapin, Joel Levy, Aaron Rosenzweig, Herbert Schnapper, Faye Schoss, Esther Weiner, Clara Goldstein, Barry Hertz, Mary Kaplan, Samuel Kaplan, Florence Magaziner, Jerry Mayers, David Smith, Anna Sperling, Bertha Weisblum, Milton Bergel, Morris Swigenberg, Lola Strum. In their memory and in their honor, let us rise as a congregation to recite the words of Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divrachu te v'yamlich malchute, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agalah v'zman kariv imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam alamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yidadar v'yitale v'yitalav shmeir gurisha b'richu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiram b'yalma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all the bereaved among us, as together we say, amen. Sanctifying the Sabbath day with the sweetness of the wine, and we invite our B'nai Mitzvah to lead us. We can join them on page 5.
The heaven and the earth were finished in all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing. And God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of vine. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who, finding favor with us, sanctified us with mitzvot. In love and favor, you made the holy Shabbat our heritage, as a reminder of the work of creation. As first among our sacred days, it recalls the exodus from Egypt. You chose us and set us apart from the peoples. In love and favor, you have given us your holy Shabbat as an inheritance. Praise to Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. We therefore raise the cup in thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei uri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kosho, v'ahava uvratzon, Ikianu, Zikaron le'maaseh Bereshit, Ki yom tehillah le'mikra'e kodesh, Zeh l'tziat Mitzrayim, Kivanu b'charta, v'tanu kidashta, Mikol
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Rosalind Heiken, and I have the privilege of serving as Vice President of the Congregation Beth Israel's Board of Trustees. Thank you, Rabbi Lyon, Rabbi Scott, Rabbi Foster, and Cantor Trumpeter for leading us tonight in this beautiful Shabbat of comfort for our community. We are grateful for our elected officials and faith leaders who are with us tonight. We appreciate your support and your solidarity. Mazel tov to the families of Ellie Sheva and Aiden Moffett and Ashley Bloom, who are becoming B'nai Mitzvah this Shabbat. Tomorrow night is daylight savings time. Make sure you remember to adjust your clocks 1 hour behind. Tuesday morning, November 6th, the Inclusion Committee will welcome members of the Gathering Place in the Wolf Tumen Hall throughout the morning for activities and entertainment and lunch to support those living with Alzheimer's, dementia, and other illnesses. If you are interested in volunteering for the Gathering Place, please see Rabbi Scott. On Thursday, November 8th at 7:30 p.m., the Adult Education Committee will welcome guest author Jenna Blum as part of the Evelyn Rubenstein Jewish Community Center's Book Festival. Ms. Blum will be speaking in the Gordon Chapel on her latest novel, The Lost Family. This event will commemorate the 80th anniversary of Kristallnacht and is open to the entire community. We are still accepting bags from Count Me In, a local organization that provides Hanukkah presents to children in need. Should you choose to participate, please return your bag to the temple offices before November 11th and see Rabbi Foster with any questions. During tonight's Oneg Shabbat, Cindy Greenberg and Carol Worley and I look forward to welcoming all members and guests at the membership table in the Wolf Tumen Hall. Thank you for joining us tonight at Congregation Beth Israel. Shabbat Shalom.
Again, I'm so grateful that you are here and that each of you is here tonight, dignitaries who lead and stand with us. Without further ado, and I'm so grateful, Mayor, that you could share our hour of worship with us, our prayers of thanks to God and hope for all of us. Mayor, please join me here and share your words with my congregation.
Let me start off by certainly acknowledging Rabbi Lyons, and I had the privilege of working with him on a number of different projects, and it's good to be at Congregation of Beth Israel, one of the largest, one of the oldest, if not the oldest, synagogue in the state of Texas. In fact, when I reflect back, I think you go back to 1854. That's been a long time. But I raised that issue because back in 1790, I believe, President Washington wrote a letter to a congregation of Hebrews in Rhode Island and said to them that you can be in Rhode Island as a synagogue. You would not have to worry about harassment or persecution or hatred. That was back in 1790. It's a reminder that we still have a lot of work to do. I have certainly benefited from being here tonight in this worship service. It's been uplifting, it's been encouraging, and as I sat there, Constable Rosen, I said to myself, what a difference it would make if in this synagogue, and synagogues all over the country, if there were people, in addition to Jews, sitting right next to one another, participating in services of this kind. We would all be so much closer together. Quite frankly, I'm not standing before you just as a mayor. I'm just standing before you as a Houstonian, recognizing that we are all connected. Were I not mayor, I would still want to be right here in Congregation Beth Israel, because we are all connected. And we are all called upon to recognize that we are our brother's keepers. We are sisters. We are family. And when one hurts, we all hurt. And we have to find strength that goes beyond ourselves. And then as I was sitting there, I was asking myself, you know, when you think about your friends, how diverse are those friends and those that you are around? When I did become mayor some 3 years ago, I asked Ellen Cohen to be the mayor pro tem, to sit beside me and to provide guidance and advice and support to me. And she's done just that. I did not realize at the time, Ellen, that you were the first Jewish person holding that position. And quite frankly, it should not be a first. We are 182 years old, and yet we still have so far to go. And even when you think of elected officials, I think they're the two Jewish elected officials in the city of Houston as a whole are sitting in this synagogue this evening, Ellen Cohen and Constable Rosen. And just think about that. Because if the world is going to be better, it means that all of us have to do better. Tonight, I met a person who is in Pittsburgh, but she's in this synagogue tonight. She came up to me, and you can hear and see the pain that she was carrying. You know, I felt that pain as well. It's a reminder that we are all connected. But I'm not going to leave the synagogue feeling pessimistic, because quite frankly, I'm going to leave with a great deal of hope. Congressman Green, you know, I'm reminded that you may cut off the branches of the tree of life, but the tree still lives. And you may cut off another branch, but this tree still lives because the roots are deep. And from that tree, others will come and will grow. And that's the good news. Tonight, in this synagogue, I'm looking at a lot of branches, a lot of branches. And doesn't mean that life is always going to be fair or things are always going to be right. And I wish even as mayor I had the answers, but I don't. But what I do know is that if you turn off all the lights in this synagogue and that candle continues to burn, there will be light in this synagogue. But we have to go from being the light in that candle, and each one of us must be the candle where the light burns. And that's what this moment is calling for. This is one of those signature moments, not just in Pittsburgh, not just in the East Coast or the West Coast, but all over the globe. This is a signature moment where we are called upon to be that candle in a sea of darkness. And if we stand up, not just tonight, but every night, the world will be a lot better. We need a whole lot of love where there is hate, a whole lot of peace and understanding. And we need to recognize that we are connected. I am proud to be a part of this community, the most diverse community. And I'm proud to be able to stand is that we will look out for one another. And we stand with the Jewish community, just like we stand with the Muslim community and the Christian community, because we are all interconnected, and we've all been very blessed. So I want to thank you for allowing me to be here tonight. It's been uplifting. It's been encouraging. It's a reminder that God is still watching over us. And when there are events that take place that really tears us at the core, we still stand strong, and we are still surviving, and we'll still say should not happen again. So, Rabbi Lyons, thank you for having me. This is a great city, and it's a great city because of the people that live within it. But there is too much hate, and there is too much talk that doesn't bring about healing. And this is one of those pivotal moments when all of us must stand up and say no more. And we have to replace the hate with a great deal of love. And this is one of those moments when leadership, if you want to be a leader, then you have to stand up and speak what is true and be protective of one another. That's what I want to see happen in this city, and you can't do it if we don't come together as one. Shabbat Shalom. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Mayor. Absolutely true. We're so fortunate to have you leading our great city. And as we prepare to make our way tonight, we're going to invite the dignitaries who are here to please join us on the bima. Please come and take your place. I know that there are faith leaders in the community too, and if you feel comfortable to join us here representing your faith, please come and take your place on the bima by us. We're going to sing, and the words are on the song sheet, Oseh Shalom. We thank God, who is the maker of peace for all of us and our neighbors too. Please rise and join us in singing.
Israel,
closing benediction. Please remain in your places for just a moment so that those of us on the bema may exit first. Obviously, we look forward to greeting each of you and wishing each other Shabbat Shalom. Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, our God and God of all your children, may this night be a symbol and a call for action, that in your presence we can be lifted up to overcome all manners of adversity and hate and indifference, to find peace and love and goodness in each face, in each set of eyes, and in each heart of every human being. May this be your will. May we honor you in all that we do for the sake of enduring peace. Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for joining us at Congregation Beth Israel in Houston. Sharing Shabbat with you is so meaningful to us. Let's join together again very soon. My very best wishes to you for a good week. Shabbat Shalom.